Okay, so we're going to choose numbers and then randomize whoever's going to be leading our session today. Let me share my screen.
How do you randomize in JavaScript?
I have no idea.
Yeah, we use JavaScript today to randomize.
Randomizing in JavaScript.
So
I want to do it in JS.
I go to Node.
So today I want to try out randomizing in JS. Let's see.
Map.random.
Let's see the map.random. Let's see random. Maybe you can just maybe Google there randomizing in JavaScript something. Randomizing numbers, yeah. Because it's a JS mob and we are randomizing in Ruby.
Kevin, how do we randomize? I thought you guys knew.
No
one has an idea.
I have no idea. How about you? I know.
Okay, what do I do? Nani anafungua mic tutumie yake? Since tunafungua mic mara tano. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But we're sorry for the confusion.
No worries.
All right. So we're trying to randomize in JavaScript, although no one has an idea how to do it. So Kevin, Musa,
Google. Search.
Math.random, then you pass that.
math.random. Yeah. Outside the brackets. Select and the number you want to randomize. Like that.
Then I'll guess. It's actually
I can't hear you people. So we just use Ruby and then we randomize with JS.
no, we have to know this. We have.
What if you search online? Randomize random number.
You can get
Okay.
back to this. There is this
Randomize numbers in JavaScript.
yeah, definitely.
Okay. So return a random number between 0 and 1.
It's not that. Let's go down a bit. Go down a bit. There was this there.
Here.
So here, like this one, return a random number between.
1 to 10.
So number to be ours is between 1 and 1 to 5. 0 to 3. You can do 1 to 10. Okay?
Yeah.
Alright, so we do 1 to 10.
I'm 1.
I'm 3 and 5.
Oh, and
Welcome, guys. You are yeah. So
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
So what we are currently doing, we are randomizing the numbers just to know who is leading us through the JS mob today.
And Musa is officially distracted.
Any diamonds?
Alright.
Whoa.
So chupa hizi.
No, and then 6 went on
Sorry. I can't hear you, Musa. Can you unmute yourself?
You randomize this, right? We have
Can you just share your screen?
okay. Kidogo. Share. I'll share my screen. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have this one. This.
This one, this.
What?
I'll just highlight it. Math.flow, then math.random. This one will return from 0 to 0. Yeah, but this one is to randomize a number between 1 to. Can you hear me? Yeah, if you want to randomize a number between 1 to 20, like it will print 1 to 20, you will add the plus 1 just after the.
Before the.
No, after. After this closing bracket. Yeah, so you can do that. Get. Yeah.
You just share your terminal.
Ah. Okay, so yeah, we have, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
I start with the node. So here we'll write math.flow and the bracket math dot random. Then we'll have that we are 10, right?
Yeah. Yes. Bananas. Did you write it down? What's your number, Musa?
3 and 5.
Mine is 1 and 9.
You can just
This will randomize.
One was mine.
you can
One
just
was mine.
you can just send your numbers
2 9. Okay.
4 7.
On the chat.
On the
in
chat.
the chat.
4 7.
7 is mine.
It's mine. Nichate kwa kwanza.
Okay, so the remaining numbers 2 and 9.
Oh, Eba na Joel hawa. Yani, ama.
We can hear you.
I can hear you.
You're talking in Swahili.
She's talking here in Swahili. A bit of Luya.
So we have.
She's talking a bit of Swahili and Luya.
I thought she said something about me, that's why.
She was saying that you're not included in the randomizing.
Okay.
Yeah, you and Joel are not included, just so that we don't ambush you guys with this. But she said it in Swahili and Luya.
Oh.
You're muted.
Okay, so I'll just randomize. So that then we'll add 1 for it to start from 1. To start from 1 and then a 10. Okay. So the first one is 4. Who is that? Lisa. We are randomizing 3 times. The second one is 8. That's get it. The third one is 40. That's Kevin. So Kevin will be taking us through tonight.
Kevin took us through the function.
Take us through functions.
Awesome. Let's do this. We are 17 minutes past. My.
Mwenye anaongea
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yeah, we can hear you.
I can't hear you guys if you're talking.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay, are you guys able to see my screen?
On the left side.
Those are just some ads. I don't mind that. Okay, so what really are functions? So a function is a block of code designed to perform a particular task, yes? So for example, an example here, if you're creating a JavaScript function, we are starting with the keyword function, yes? Then this is the function name. Then if it has some parameters, then you can pass it P1 and P2. If it doesn't expect any arguments when it be calling it, then it will just be blank. So in this case, we have a function called my function with two parameters, and the code in the block is this bit here, return. So the block starts from here to here. Yeah? Because a JavaScript function design is a block of code designed to perform a particular task. The block in this case is, now let's see the behavior of this first. So for example, yeah, we have this, then we are returning that. So we have a paragraph there, demo. That's where our result is.
I'll just on
Huh? Ajay.
I think you're using the wrong microphone. That's not the microphone you're using. So you can select from your settings, but it seems you didn't rule through functions
Why?
because it's like you're reading one by one.
Oh, I'm reading word by word.
Yeah. But let's not on the microphone.
Let me notice you.
Come here. Select hapa. Then kwa hii microphone click. Hebu uchague. Bado inasikika?
Yes.
Bado inasikika tu? Yes. Kwani ama microphone yake inafaa iwe kando?
Mimi nilikuwa nasikika.
microphone.
Okay, so can you guys hear me? Fire.
Yeah, it's very low.
How about now?
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was looking at this bit here. There was this example here. We have a function called my function returning this. So it will return when we call my function and return it and pass it some parameters. We're expecting the result to be it's a product, yes. So for example, let me change this. Expecting 15, yeah. Okay, let me continue. Any questions up to there? Okay, now this is the bit that now introduces the JavaScript syntax. So the syntax basically, there has to be the keyword function. Then, just like I said initially, then this is the name of your function. Then it will have parameters if you'll have some. And then the code that will be executed when your function is called will go in here. So then yeah, they're just saying parameters are listed inside the parentheses. Then inside the function, the arguments, which are the parameters, behave as local variables. So what that means that, for example, if we have parameter, let me go back to this. For example, this P1 here, its scope is only inside here. We cannot use it outside the function. For example, if you have let me do it in the node. Okay, so assuming we have a function, then I have A, I have B. That's my parameters. Then in here, I want to return plus B. And my function is. So in this case, let me say, if I call ever and pass it that, are we expecting an error? Which error, Getty? I'm not.
I think it's sorry, what? Argument error. I think so.
So no one noted that, so I should have this. Okay, let me put it like this first. Let's see, it was an argument error because the function ever expects 2 parameters, yes? But in this case, we have passed 2 plus 3. How will JavaScript treat that? That is just like passing 5, yeah? So it's like passing 1 parameter. So I expect an error dealing with probably wrong number of arguments, yeah? Expected.
I don't think there'll be an error.
Huh?
There'll be an error.
Huh.
I don't expect an error on that. Is there a section talking about parameters on this?
Okay, it's yeah.
But I don't expect an error here. But if there are section talking about parameters and arguments on JavaScript, then you can talk about it when you get down there.
Okay. So it's not an error, but it's not a number. But if I do this, so Sig, what were you expecting if it's not an error?
I was expecting. Okay, I didn't expect not a number, but can you do EBA then 5? What are you expecting? Yeah? There's nothing like no wrong number.
So, okay, maybe just the JavaScript shows the error in form of wrong number of arguments.
Yeah, so I'm expecting not a number.
Not a number.
So let's talk about this when we get to that.
Okay. Aha. So and the code executed must be inside the curly braces. Okay, let's go to the next section. Talking of function invocation. Function invocation is just calling the function that we have defined, like what we have been doing here is a function invocation. We are calling the function we have defined, yeah? So the code inside
the invocation same as calling. Function invocation and function calling. Is it the same? Yes. Is the same?
Yeah. Yeah. They're saying that the code inside the function will execute when something invokes, which in bracket calls the function. So calling and invoking means the same thing. So So when an event occurs, when a user clicks a button, when it is invoked or called from JavaScript automatically. So this talks of a scenario where maybe you have. Let me talk of one that you have implemented in some open source projects. It was a datetime picker, for example. So with the datetime picker, so meaning somewhere we have the function datetime picker, such that in your code, if you call it on click, for example, there is something like when you click the button, that datetime picker function should be executed, and the result of maybe clicking the datetime picker is like maybe popping up that datetime picker. So this talks of an event. When an event occurs, probably on click, there is on mouse, there is hover. Yeah, those are the events. So maybe you can set a function such that maybe if you hover on something, then a particular function is invoked. Yeah, this basically, yeah, so invocation is more of a calling, like we have seen the scenarios. Then this next section about function return. So function return reaches when JavaScript reaches the return statement, the function will stop executing. Then if the function was invoked from a statement, then JavaScript will return to execute the code after invoking the statement. So an example is, for example, this one here. Like here we have a variable x, which is a result of calling my function, then passing it those arguments 1, 3. So meaning at this point in line 1, so execution will switch from here to this function, yes? Run the function, return this value. Our return value here is the product of A and B, yes, such that now when you let me see. So for example, this one here. So at this point we have that, then this is where now we are calling this function. So at this point, the function is my function, then it will compute the return value of the function. Then if there was anything else, in the function, after returning that, then execution will continue. Any questions there if I'm not clear, or if okay, we can just test it here. It's undefined. So it has returned undefined. So assuming we have, let's see what will happen. We have this here. So it returns what is implicitly. What is explicitly or implicitly? Yeah. So return A.
What if we have, below that we have return A?
So it will just return?
It will just return 12 because I've seen somewhere written that when JavaScript get the word return, the execution will stop.
So let's when a JavaScript reaches a return statement, the function will stop executing. So if the function was invoked from a statement, like this is a statement, yeah? This is a statement. So if the function was invoked from a statement, JavaScript will return to execute the code after invoking the statement. Then function often compute a return value. The return value is returned back to the caller. So we have the statement here.
I still don't understand that particular part.
Functions. The return.
Yeah.
So according to them, or according to the statement here, or according to, so we have this function here. So here we have a statement which involves creating a variable x. So at this point, JavaScript now goes to execute the code. For example, it goes to now the function where this is defined. It searches for the return value of the function. At this point is that, then returns it. This is what we are, the return value we are getting is the product here. But we were testing something here. What if we return this? What any suggestions of the result of this?
thinking it will return 12. That's my guess. I'm thinking it will return 12.
I have the same idea.
Me too. No, I'm saying me too. I also think it will return 12.
Okay, can we just change the first one to be 1a plus b? A plus b. Yeah, that should be a plus b. So why is it not returning that if you guys are saying it will be 12? Why not 7?
Okay, it's why not 7? Because it's a plus b is not the return value of the function.
Executed.
Execution, yes, it will be executed but not returned.
Okay. And so a plus b will be executed, but it will not be returned. It will only return a times b. Why not a?
I think I expect my answer I'm expecting 4.
Why is it not returning a? The last line.
Okay, I think it will not return the last line because at this point, so when it reaches here, execution stops and returns and auto gives us the return value here. Yes?
Okay, so I'm assuming return a times b will return, okay?
Yeah.
So when you say return, what it will take the 12 and okay, it returns the 12. Then what happens to the 12?
Now that the 12 is what it's the return value, so that is what we are showing.
So what does it do to the return value?
Displays.
Displays the return value.
So according to if the function was invoked from a statement, JavaScript will return to execute the code after invoking the statement.
Okay, my understanding of that, just go back. The reason I'm asking so many questions is when they say when JavaScript reaches a return, the function will stop executing. It means it will not go further than that.
Yeah.
If it was invoked from a statement which is var x equal my function, okay, JavaScript will return to execute the code after invoking statement. JavaScript will return to execute the code after invoking statement. What does that mean? That's my biggest question. So when they say return and it's actually in quotes to execute this code after invoking the statement.
I think what maybe this means is, so assuming here we have a statement and a function, yeah? So this is like a statement. Then here we have like a function. So assuming we had some other code below var, some other code, yeah? So after JavaScript doing that, after executing what is in the function, then it will continue with execution of the other lines. That's what I've understood from that section.
Okay, because JavaScript will return to execute the code. So what I think is that var x equal my function, that's a statement. So it comes here, sees that we are calling the function my function. It will not execute this. It will go and call the method first, the function first. That's what it says. JavaScript will return to execute after invoking the statement. So it will go to my function, execute that, then come back. After it comes back, it assigns x to whatever it got from executing my function. So that's the meaning of it will return to execute after invoking. So that means that var x equals my function, then you pass that. It will go to my function, execute my function first, get its return value, then come back and assign that to x.
So, for example, here, what will happen is that at this point, it will go to the function, execute it, the return value here is 12, come back with the 12, and that is what is coming back and being stored here.
Yes, exactly. That's my understanding of that. Then functions often compute a return value. The return value is returned back to the caller. Who was the caller? The statement above. That was the caller. Var x expected it to be given a value after executing this. So the caller is this statement var x equal. Okay, it's the one executing this, or how are you calling it? It's the one calling the function by function. So the function by function will go do whatever it's doing, come back and assign. Now, in case var x calls my function, okay, so we said that x calls the function, okay, waits for it to give it a value, then assign that to x. Now, if it doesn't come back with a value, then x will be undefined. Previously, we said var x is, if you just say var x without giving it a value, it will be undefined. So if you call my function and it doesn't bring back anything, then it means you have var x without any value. So it will be undefined. So you'll have an undefined function x. That's why in the try it yourself, if it doesn't return anything, try there, remove the returns, just have a plus b. Without that, it means that you call the function, you don't tell it to return anything. You don't tell it to return anything, so it will not come back with anything. So x will have nothing. Whenever you call a function, if you don't tell it to return anything, it will not bring back anything. If you tell it to return as the sum, it will bring back the sum, but that sum will be assigned to x.
Okay, Max, understood. So at this point, that's why we are getting undefined. So at this point, the function is not returning any value. So this is equivalent to undefined. So it's like we are setting x to undefined. So calling x here results into undefined. We were trying something doing that. So what about this bit?
So in that case, from the previous statement, it said that it will stop execution. So this means that my function will execute line 1, which is a times b. Okay? Yes. Then it goes to the next line. It executes that, then it will not continue further than that because it has been told that
this is what you should return.
Please bring back this. Okay? So scenarios where we can use this is, can you assign c equal a times b up there? C equal a times b. Then return c. Now remove return a plus b. So there are situations where you have to work, remove a times b, the first one, where you have to do something on the variables and the parameters, then after that you return it. A simple example. Okay, can you run that and see? Still 12. Okay. So if you don't return, it will be undefined. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Ngoja nimaze.
So Y functions. Y functions. Huh?
Emma or Joel, do you have any question or any follow-up?
No.
Okay, let's continue then. Okay, so where do we use functions? So you can use reuse a code. So you can define a code once, then you can use it many times. So for example, which example can I use? Or anyone suggest an example where we...
Okay, an example where we can use, where we need a function. Let's say you want to find the GCD of numbers or LCM of numbers or the, yeah, let's talk about the GCD of some numbers. You have 3 steps that you need to take. For example, just a random example. If you have 3 steps that you need to take to come up with the GCD, the first option that you can have is every time you ask for the GCD, you have to write down the 3 steps. Now, if you ask for the GCD 10 times, it means you have to do the 3 steps 10 times. That's like 30 lines of code. It's easier to have them in one block so that every time you ask for the GCD, you call that block once. Now, the beauty of that is that if it happens that you wrote the method of GCD wrong, then you change it only in one place. If you had the 3 steps in 10 different places, then you have to adjust 30 lines again, or you have to add 1 extra line for the 10 places. Okay, so those are situations. That's like a random thing off the top of my head as to why you might need a function. Okay, the other one is real life. Okay, this is a real life, but another one. Talking about user login and logout again. So when a user logs in, there are certain things that are supposed to be done. For example, you need to store the information on the cookies. After that, you need to change the buttons of the page. After that, you need to tell them welcome. Okay. This happens every time a user logs in. So it's safer to have them inside a method called login that will do all this for you. So that whenever the user logs in, the steps will be followed. In situations where you change your mind and say that we no longer want the user to, we no longer want to show the user welcome to the website, you only change it in one place. Okay. So those are kind of the scenarios where I use that. The next one, just scroll down a bit. Any question or clarifications? Okay, I guess there's none. You guys are too quiet today. So let's move over to the bracket operator, which invokes a function. Okay, using the example above, the example we have over there refers to the function. Okay, accessing the function without this will return the function definition instead of the function result. What this means is that if you have a function called my function, then you type in my function, it will not invoke the function. You have to give the brackets for it to be invoked. You can try that.
Please share this.
Joel, amesema you share your screen.
Jen, you asking something?
Are you share this?
Okay, for example, let me just use this function we have here.
For sure.
Oh, sure.
Is he sharing his screen?
Oh, Lucy.
Oh, it's
Joel.
It's
What
Lucy's
is
screen.
It's Lucy's. I'm using Lucy's laptop. Okay, so using this example, we have function a, but then we passed it that. So if we only do this, we're expecting the function definition, which is the function.
It won't return the definition. It returns. Just go back and read what it returns. Using that, if you call it without that, accessing without will return the function. Or it's the definition without the result.
Yeah, definition is this here. The whole of this is the function definition.
Okay, try that.
Function clever. Let me do it in the
without the brackets. Okay, what do you expect actually before you run? You've run it. Look at yourself.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Okay, what do you expect out of that? It's without the brackets.
Okay, this one I think it will return the whole function definition. There's function, the name of the function, argument, what's inside the block, and the clause. Yeah.
Okay, so it returns everything that is inside the function.
Not inside, but everything that function definition. From the keyword.
I'm thinking it will return C.
This.
It will return 12. Since we're not telling you to return X in the first place, that's just somewhere we placed the function. Or correct me.
Let me do this.
If you look at that, get it. If you look at this, it says that if you call the function without the brackets,
Yes.
it will not execute.
Yes.
It will return the function definition. So that's why when we call EBA without the brackets, it never.
Or it returned the method definition.
Yeah, it returned the definition. So we're trying this on the browser, and Musa is saying that it will return function, my function, blah, 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 everything that's highlighted on the browser. Okay? Lucy? No idea, you're not sure. Or you're sweating. Okay, you told us, Kevin?
In this case, I think, so what's really happened at this point is like, we want to store this function. At this point,
it will store
at
the
this point,
definition.
we have a function definition. We
Yes.
need to really store a function definition in a variable.
Yes, it will.
So that is what.
It
after
will store the
storing it,
definition.
after storing the function definition, then we are calling it here.
No, we're not calling it.
Not, we are not. We are accessing the value. At this point, then we are accessing the value.
Yes, we are accessing the value, of which the value is the function definition, not the result of the execution, like we did previously.
So we're expecting the all of this.
Okay, that's technically what we're expecting, but what I think is it will show some gibberish with the word my function in it. I'm not sure.
Gibberish. Okay, let's see this. Where is the gibberish?
Oh, okay, it shows everything. Function, my function, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. Musa, you read that one?
Okay.
So, Kevin.
Yes.
If you just go back, we haven't finished our experiment. Now we know that var x contains the function definition.
Yeah.
Then just below it we have document.get by element, blah blah blah. Just highlight. So we know what you're talking about. We have that. We assign that to x.
Yeah.
Okay. So what if we assign it to x and the parentheses?
Yeah.
Yes. What happens?
So
What happens?
what happens now? Think
Will it now invoke the function?
yeah. Huh?
Me say no, Musa no, Getty? No. Eba?
Yes.
No.
Yes. She said
No.
yes.
She said
She
no.
said no. Jaya?
Huh.
I'm not
He's not sure.
He's not sure. Kevin? It's a yes for you. And it's a yes for me. Sure? Yes, it's a yes for me. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure, but it's a yes for me. Okay.
Dish. Hula.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah,
it has worked. It has executed.
It worked.
Yeah.
It's not a number because we didn't pass in the parameter.
Yes.
Yes. Worked.
Yes.
So,
Let's go back.
yes, it should.
Accessing a function without that will return the function definition instead. There was an example somewhere.
Okay. When you say var x equals that, it assigns the function definition to the variable.
Yeah.
Okay. So the whole function is now called x.
X, yeah.
That's what happens. But not the invocation of that. If you want to invoke it, you add the brackets. So if you had x, let's just go and do that. X, then 5,6. That means we are invoking and passing in the parameters.
So you're expecting
The arguments, I mean.
30.
Yeah, for that we're expecting 30 now. So we've not learned anything new since morning.
Awesome.
This is Saturday.
Awesome. Any further questions in this section? Anything not clear? Okay, everyone is good. Okay. Oh. So it's 4 p.m.
Okay, so we can conclude that when you assign x to a function definition without invoking, okay, if you invoke it, it will go invoke it, then give it the return value. If you do not, then it will take that function and assign it to that particular value. When you feel you're ready to use the x now, you put the parentheses, it will invoke the function. Okay. Okay.
Can you continue? Yeah. Okay, I think that's where we end our mob for today. We have a Ruby meetup. Oh, Python. So we have a Python meetup today, Joel. Is Eba doing some Python too?
Sigu,
Yes, Eba?
can I ask you a question about superclasses before you, after this?
Okay, no problem. I think you can even ask me. Or should we do that aside? You can just ask so that we can give you different answers or the same answer.
So a superclass, is that like, how do you explain it? Is that like a parent or like a grandfather to something else?
Yeah, apparently, yes, it is. When we talk about superclasses, it's a parent to a class that we're talking about. For example, if we have...
What is a class then? Like, what's the difference between a class and a superclass?
Okay, a class is... what can I call a class?
Not the child.
It's a thing. It's something we can actually derive objects from, or we can declare methods inside a class. For example, I can have multiple methods inside a class. That class could have methods or could inherit methods from its superclass. I really suck at explaining things, so someone else should take over.
So you can call methods in a class that also exist in a superclass.
Yes.
Because classes can inherit from someone, and this someone happens to be another class. So a class can inherit from a class.
Can they inherit from an object and stuff too?
Yes, they can. But in Ruby, technically, the object is also a class, so it inherits from a class.
Okay, so basically a class can only inherit from a class.
Yes.
Yeah.
Classes inherit from classes.
Classes, yeah.
So
okay, and then the super. Yeah, sorry, go on.
If you inherit from a class, then it means whoever you inherited from is your superclass. They are your seniors.
So, so basic object doesn't inherit from anything and inherit from nil, right?
Yes.
Could you then say that nil is a superclass of basic object?
I don't think so. When you ask them for their basic object and they have nothing else to tell you, they'll just tell you nil.
Yeah, but I mean, like, is that the constant, but with everything else, basically?
Technically, yes.
Okay, nil means nothing.
Something
Yeah, but I
doesn't
mean the
exist.
concept. That's what I meant. The concept.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's the concept. Okay. Yeah, but technically, just to get it right, basic object does not inherit from anything. So if you ask it, it will tell you I inherit from no one, which nil in Ruby means
something that doesn't exist.
Okay, I think I understand.
Okay, you can ask any other thing.
Everything's no, okay? that was it.
Okay, Jael.
I'm good.
Okay, you're good. So welcome to this, Joel. We usually do mob sessions for JavaScript. We do it Fridays 3 to 4. Mondays we have Ruby or Python 3 to 4. Tuesdays we have JavaScript 3 to 4. Wednesdays we do Code Wars on both Python and Ruby 3 to 4. Thursdays Ruby or Python 3 to 4. So we do this every day for an hour. You're really welcome for any of these.
Nice.
Yeah, whenever you're free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. I have to go. Oh, wait, I have one more question. What's the difference between pry and IRB?
Oh, good one.
That's a nice question.
Good one. Pry and the difference between pry and IRB.
Yeah.
Do you know?
No.
So everyone seems not to be having an idea. IRB is the Ruby interpreter created for Ruby. It comes with Ruby, interactive Ruby, whatever. Yeah, interactive Ruby. So you can give it commands and it gives it back to you. So a team of people decided to create a better version, better in quotes, I don't know if it's better or not, called Pry. So it's technically a better version of IRB. They're doing the same thing.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye, guys. We have to run the Python Scrum now.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.